All right, folks, welcome back for another episode. I wanted to welcome my next guest. She is an East Coast lyrical force known for her sharp delivery and unmistakable presence on the mic. She has a highly respected catalog, praised for her raw lyricism and unwavering authenticity. A true rap staple who's earned accolades for her versatility pin game role in shaping the sound of hip hop, and her live performance and stage presence is on fire. Please help me welcome Star to the show. Welcome, and how are you?
I'm just over here blushing like, oh my goodness, what a great introduction. Thank you so much.
Well deserved. That's all you. You wrote that.
Wow, is
So
he
yeah.
talking about little old me?
Yeah. Oh no, you're amazing. I mean, you got just an amazing career in music and you still continue it today. But before I go into the amazing things that you have done, I want to know, where were you born? Where did you grow up? And where do you hang your hat these days?
Okay, so I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. Gasp.
I read that.
But
Yeah.
of course, I was born in a musical city, so
Good point.
the home of Stax Records. I mean, we know all the great
Yeah.
music that came. We got Bill Street. I mean, so yeah, I was born in a very musical city. I left there when I was 12 due to my mother passing away, and I
Oh,
moved to Atlanta to live with my dad because
okay.
that's where he was. And then I've been here since then.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is where I'm rooted, although I have definitely spent, time um up and down the East Coast, but this is all has always been home.
Yeah. Do you ever
I'm a
go back?
Southern girl,
Oh,
grits, girl
baby,
raised in the
now.
South.
We got that song, right? So grits.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
That's why I made
I love
it.
it. But do you go back to Memphis at all, or no, no more?
So, okay, so because I left so young, when I was younger,
Mm.
I went back like the first 2 summers, like to visit friends that were there. And then after that, I didn't go back again until maybe like the late 90s, early 2000s,
Okay.
because I had to still do some estate stuff. Like my mom set things up for us, when you're 18, you get this, when you're 25, you get this. So I
Ah,
don't think I don't think I went back um maybe from 90 or 91 until maybe like 2000.
okay.
And then from there, I went back in like 2004 because my godmother lived in Jackson. So I would go back to see, to visit her. And then Memphis is like 45 minutes from there. So then I would go into the city. Like I never spent time. And then the last time I went was 2013 when my grandfather passed away. So I
Okay.
have not spent any real quality time in Memphis as an adult. That's something that I need to do because I mean I wanna see what it would have been like if I had stayed, like the hip hop scene I would have been on. And I've
Yeah,
definitely met, I've
that's a
met,
good point.
I've met through the internet. I've met some of the some younger cats that are actually out there now that are on the same vibe I'm on. I'm like, okay, so I would have just been me wherever I was.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? Which is really, I
yeah,
mean, and but I have not spent enough time because I don't have any family. Like
yeah.
all my family
Good point.
is like either here, you know what I mean? So, and then when my grandfather died, that's like it. Like there may be like a couple of like my mom's coworkers that I'm still in touch with, but it's like nobody that like once my and then my godmother passed too. So she was really like my link to Memphis, and she passed in
Sure.
2008. That kind of stopped me from going.
No, that makes
And I want
excellent.
somebody to take the road trip with me too. So as soon as I find somebody that's down to
Oh,
ride, it's only 6 hours.
oh, yeah, that isn't too bad. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
Memphis is a
there's
cool place.
a couple of ways you can go, but it's like if I go through Alabama and Mississippi, it's like six. If I go through Tennessee and I have to go through Nashville,
Yeah.
maybe like 7 or 8.
Okay.
So it just depends on the way you go.
Yeah, that's a good point. Memphis is a big musical city. Memphis in May too. I went in Beale Street and
You've done more than
Park.
me. I never even been to. I didn't go. I haven't been to the Stax Museum yet. I never went to the Lorraine
Oh,
Motel. I've never been
yeah,
to Graceland.
yeah.
I've been to the Peabody. My mom used to work downtown, so she would take me to the Peabody Hotel to see the ducks. The ducks would
Ah,
come to the wall
yeah, when they
when I was
walk
really,
through.
yeah, when I
Yeah.
was really little. I remember doing that. but I have not had my official Memphis experience as an adult. But I
It's coming.
always, that's where I was born, and I never deny where I'm from. Like I am like, I know that you may think,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, this is where I am from.
Yeah.
Because people tend to, most of the Memphis we hear music we hear out of Memphis, there's a particular way that it sounds. And the accent, I never had it because my mother,
Oh,
she was a teacher at one point, went into the law field. So we had to speak proper English. Like I wasn't even allowed to say ain't and y'all. I
oh yeah,
mean,
yeah. That's what
yeah.
yeah.
So I always had the non-regional, newscaster, the accent that the people who do everybody that's a newscaster has this very flat,
Yeah.
they don't really have any particular inflection that would connect them, and so I kind of, because of that,
Yeah.
I used to always mimic, like if I was around somebody, because I little theater kid, when I was little, I wanted to be I wanted to act or whatever. So I
Yeah.
used to do impressions and imitate people. So I would like talk like people to see if they noticed that I was talking like them. And so, like, if I
That's
get
fun.
around somebody and they're from a particular place, I may start, I pick up the inflection. So
Yeah.
I'll start, yeah, it's a gift I have. I call that's my gift of speaking in tongues.
Well, you do that well too in your rap game too, your delivery. So I can see how that like helps shape your style too. So that
Yeah.
hey, that's pretty awesome. Hey,
Yeah, your
all
voice is
over.
an instrument, your voice is an instrument.
Yeah.
So there are very
Hmm.
few people who talk the same way that they rap.
Yeah.
We all have our rap voice,
That's right. That's right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so, well, let me not say they're very few. I mean, but I'm just saying I know people who have, like, Busta Rhymes doesn't talk,
Yeah. 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 Right.
that
Right.
anime, you know what I'm saying? Even like when you hear Foxy Brown talk, like her accent is so different than
Yeah.
her rap voice. Little Kim, same thing. Little Kim, oh, she's got this little soft voice.
Yeah.
So that's it. We have to remember that as vocalists, our voice, it is an instrument.
I love
I
that.
mean, you got people like
That's
Bobby McFerrin. Think about Bobby McFerrin, Rochelle Farrell. See, it's hip hop is still music, and I feel like sometimes we really box ourselves in. It's like,
yeah.
what were you in for? Because I listen to everything,
Yeah.
so I could pull from any. I need to do it more. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's my instrument, so I use it how I choose to use it.
Yeah, and all over the internet, they have identified that you are from Atlanta by way of Memphis. So it's cool
Yeah,
because
I make sure of
yeah,
that.
yeah,
I'm like, y'all,
yeah. Well, it's
like,
cool. Both
yeah,
cities
that's
get to claim
important to
you.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's important to me.
yeah,
Even though, because it's kind of weird, because okay, so in Memphis, I was born there, and
yep.
then we moved to the suburbs. So I actually grew up in Germantown. So even if I were to go to Memphis, well, you're not from Memphis. And
Yeah.
then here in Atlanta,
Uh-huh.
I grew up in the suburbs. So it's that same, well, you're not a Grady baby. I'm like, but I make Atlanta look good. I
Yeah,
make
that's
Memphis
right.
look
That's right.
good.
Yeah,
When I started rapping, I was in Atlanta, out at all the scenes in the cipher. So yes, I represent for
yeah,
Atlanta. I do. And
yeah.
if anybody has a problem with that, I mean,
Yeah.
holla at me.
Well, I think it's awesome because they both get to claim you. So
Right.
yeah, they got oh
I
yeah,
feel the same way. And
yeah.
sometimes other places claim me. I get a lot of love in Brooklyn. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
so
it's like,
that's a good
yeah.
point. I thought
So,
you were from New York way back in the day until,
but
obviously later on.
because when I started rhyming, that's who scooped me up.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Yeah.
I just
That
got
makes
I got
sense.
scooped, I got scooped up.
Yeah.
So a lot of my a lot of my OGs, even like the people that I started rhyming with, and then my influences, because of I was like a
Oh,
native tongues baby.
that's right.
I Big Daddy Kane,
Hmm.
NC Light,
Oh,
Special Ed. So
yeah.
like my influences are so heavily Brooklyn
Yeah.
that it's just, and then I had friends from there, so that my friends were taking me. I went home with them, and then I met more people.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like sometimes I get more love there than I do here.
I know you do. I know you get a lot of
But
love
big
everywhere.
up Brooklyn, every
Well,
time, because it's been really good to me, and I have people that are like family to me.
yeah. That's
you
right.
know, that I mean, people that like I really genuinely just like you're like my brother or sister. I don't care if we do have different parents because of just the love that I've been even like people I grew up listening to who I met later in life. Like
Yeah.
shouts out to the beat miners. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, BCC, like just I mean, just the love from them and just
Yeah.
being embraced and like, hey, you know, yeah. So I mean, that's not an exhaustive list, but I'm just saying the love there is mutual. And
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
And when you say that, I think about your Grandmaster song because I know you're friends with, you know what I mean? Like all the people
Yeah.
you talk about, I'm like,
And
okay,
I
like
did that
the
one a long time ago. And I said so many other people, like big up to Nas. He's got that song Bouquet where
Ooh,
he's kind of doing something similar, where he's bigging up,
yeah.
you know, the women and it's specifically women in hip
Ooh,
hop. So
I gotta
that was
check
a
that song out.
specific, yeah, that's a specific jewel with that one. Yeah, I was like, well, hip hop to me, I've always treated hip hop like a man.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was my way of like paying homage and then using those artists. They were like my
Sick.
adjectives. They were my adjectives basically.
Yeah. Ooh, I
You
like
know?
that.
Yeah. So you know, they were my adjectives. All of them were my adjectives.
Yeah. But I felt
Yeah.
like I know that they're probably all your peers now, but that's what I thought about when you had mentioned.
Yeah, a lot of them
Yeah.
are like some of them already were then, but it's like
Yeah.
so cool to look like dang man, I can really pick up my
Yeah.
phone
Yeah.
and call so and so and send him music and let him get perspective and hey, how should I approach this? That's really dope.
Yeah.
And it also lets me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing because
Mm.
for me to have drawn the people that I sat in my bedroom and listened to in my headphones or I had their posters on my wall
Yeah.
to now be able to be on stages with them or be in the studio with them, and that is dope to me.
Yeah.
It's like a full circle because when I used to be, when Fight the Power came out, and then to
Ooh,
have
I'm
Chuck D
telling
be
you.
like, "Oh my God, I love this Star song." It's like, I'm like, what?
Yes. That is
Like
awesome.
that is just priceless.
Mm.
It is,
Yeah.
I to me that means more than any being on anybody's top 5 list or
Yeah.
winning a Grammy or whatever. Like to be recognized
Yeah.
as an expert or great at something that you do by someone who helped pave the way for you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean that.
That's the
So,
dream.
can't really tell me nothing, but
Yeah. Well, hey, what was your first exposure to music? What do you recall as like the earliest thing your family was bumping back in the day?
so my mom used to she'd have like a lot of house parties.
Okay.
And I remember, vinyl, we had vinyl. I remember I used to be really terrified actually. She had the Roots soundtrack, the movie Roots, and it was
Yeah.
on Buddha Records. So the vinyl had this little Buddha on it. But it was like the shading. I was so scared of him. I don't know why, because Buddha is a very happy, jolly. But I think it was like that's I just remember being scared of that record. But her playing that, Earth, Wind and Fire,
Yeah.
Michael Jackson. My dad was a reggae head, so
Okay.
like Third World, Bob Marley. So those are things that I remember. Just my sister was into Prince,
Oh
you
yeah.
know,
It's
she was
good
into
stuff.
Prince. Yeah. So I mean, we always had music on. My mom played music in the morning with us getting ready to go to school for her to go to work. She played
Yeah.
music in the car. So yeah, just everything. Lots of soul, lots of R&B again,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Classic.
I always had music around me as early as I can remember.
Oh, that's amazing. And at some point you get introduced to rap music. Do you recall the
Oh
first
yes.
rap song that you heard?
So I don't know if I can really recall the first one that I heard, but I know I loved the Fat Boys.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
I really
Yep.
loved them. I
Uh-huh.
remember just really loving Run DMC,
Yeah.
LL Cool J, even Rakim. Like my mom wasn't really a huge rap fan, but she liked Rakim. Like when Jody Watley had that song,
Oh yeah, the
Friends.
roots. Yeah.
But yeah, so and then she liked that Rapping Duke song. Oh my
Yeah.
God bless her. But so yeah, my older sister, I remember she got to go to when the Beastie Boys Run DMC, LL Cool J, when they were all on tour, she got to go to that.
Oh man.
And I remember she would go to concert, but she got to see Prince. And I was like, I was so young, because I'm 7 years younger than her. So
Uh-huh.
I couldn't go. And I was just like, I want to go.
Sad
But in
face. Yeah.
terms of a song where, okay, I really like hip hop music, I remember being at my best friend that I went to Montessori school with.
Yeah.
She had a birthday party at her house, and we were watching videos, and Tramp, Salt and Pepper Tramp came on.
Oh man.
And I was like, oh my God, and then there are girls doing this.
That's right. Oh,
And I remember that there was like they had the Just Ice, that cassette, the one with the cartoon on the cover. And I remember picking it up, looking at it, and one of her, or maybe her cousin, was like, you wouldn't know anything about that because you're from Southern. So that always stuck. Like that's my villain origin story, that this girl told me that because of where I was from, I
oh,
wouldn't be
gotcha.
able to relate to Just Ice. And
Uh,
I mean, I tuck that deep, and then when I started rhyming, I'm like, you know what?
yeah.
I wonder where that girl is today.
Yeah, yeah. Look at me now. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where she is. But it is, to her point though, I mean, I didn't grow up in an environment where like I could go outside and people were like, rapping, or we had park jams, or even
Yeah,
like with B-boys. I remember this guy named Chris Lights in the third grade, like he was doing head spins at a class party. So really most of mine came from seeing it on TV or hearing it on the radio. It
yeah.
wasn't until I came here that I was actually able to have hands-on experiences with hip hop music, and specifically um like maybe seventh or eighth grade, on the bus. I remember, uh, one of my classmates, he had Cool G Rap and Polo tape, and
Oh,
he gave that to me to take home and listen. This is a little, and again, a little, and this is another thing. Most of these were white people, white males
yeah.
that listened to hip hop,
It's
and they
global.
were listening to the hip hop that was really good.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? So the stuff that I wasn't getting outside of, well, actually with TV, it really, in the radio back in the 80s though, I mean, it really did play all the good stuff, because
Yeah,
that's what was the standard. But there still were certain things that were not necessarily in my purview, you know what I mean? So I hope I used that word right. I'm pretty sure I
yeah.
did. You know how you know words, but yeah, I look things up to make sure. Yes.
You got
Yep, the scope of influence, or yeah, the scope of the influence
absolutely did.
concerns of something, range of experience and thought. Okay, yep, yep,
That's the MC in you, though.
yep. Well, that's really the the researcher in me, the little
Yeah,
scientist in me. Like I've always been, oh, I'll go get a book ever since I was little. But that does help me as an MC, because
yeah,
I'm very inquisitive. So I'm gonna go get a book on it. I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, I've always, even before I rapped.
I mean,
So yeah,
okay. So
yeah,
natural
so
curiosity.
yeah.
Yeah, Mama was a teacher too, so I'm sure like,
And my dad's a doctor. So yeah, I
oh
gotta
yeah,
honest.
yeah, you got
I'm a
folks,
Cosby kid. Yeah, so
folks based on facts.
no, but like, yeah, education, studying,
Yeah,
research, learning, culture, those were all things that were like heavily pushed growing up. Like there was, you go read a book, go get a book, go to,
hey,
but
can't go wrong.
yeah, so it kind of came from a bunch of different ways, because I actually was really into like rock and heavy metal before I got deeply locked into hip hop. Like hip hop was
Interesting.
always there. Hip hop was always there, but because of like my friend group, because I grew up in a predominantly white area.
Okay.
So I had a lot of white friends.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and
What
then
music?
in MTV at the time, it showed everything. It was all music.
That's
Hip
true.
hop might have had, you know what I'm saying? So I got all of it and I liked it. But when hip hop gripped me up, and that's about like 10,
Yeah.
11, that when it gripped me up, that was like I still listened to everything, but it became like that was it.
Yeah.
And what really locked it in, I was in Chicago for one summer visiting my godmother.
Hmm.
Um, she lives on the south side, west side of Chicago. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think she's on the south side. And no, she's on the west side. And I was at a house party with some of my friends, and they played Slick Rick's the
Woo!
Great Slick Rick, but they played
Tell
Indian
the
Girl.
story.
And when I heard Indian Girl, I'm like,
Oh,
oh, he's
okay.
telling a story. Like,
Yeah.
this is oh, snap. Because I used to write, I was a writer
Okay.
before I was an MC. Like, I actually wrote stories. Like, I was, creative writing
Oh,
was like my favorite thing. I had like a little book that was published in the second grade. They put it in the library. We made a little book and it was on the shelf, and, my classmates could check it out. So when I heard that, I was like, this
dope.
is great because he's telling a story, but he's rapping it.
Rapping it. Yeah. That's what I
So then
do.
I was like, oh man, so then that is really um but I still wasn't an MC yet. I just was a huge lover of hip hop because again,
Appreciation.
I hadn't had my moment where I can do this.
Yeah.
And when I started high school, I met she was my best friend. She became my best friend. Her name was Misha,
Okay.
and we met at orientation. And I mean, again, I lived where I lived here. I lived in a very white area, so when you saw another black person, you were like,
High five. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you said. So
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
we met,
Yeah.
and we were both, it's always me and like a girl that kind of looks like me because my best friend from Montessori school, we were the two black girls.
Uh-huh.
So we they used to mix us up when our parents would come and pick us up, and she would never say anything, and I would scream when they would put me in her parents' car, like, this is not my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Come on.
So when I met Misha, we met at freshman orientation, and
Okay.
then she had a little sister, so we were like the three amigos.
Uh,
But Misha and I, we were in, I think, a study hall class, and she was, we were just talking about whatever. She goes, we should rap, and I was like, okay. And then she was talking about writing. I was like, you don't have to write for me. I can write.
nice.
And then we just started. It just started from there. And then the
Both
next
of
year,
y'all.
yeah, because we were
Oh,
both,
okay.
into we were into like we were into hip hop, and
Okay.
I moved, and so I moved before my junior year, and I
Okay.
went. I mean, I was still in Cobb County, but I was around even more black people,
Okay.
and this is when I was more exposed to people that were from different. Like I had friends from Cali, Philly, Jersey, Connecticut, New York. So that is when I got the rapping at the lunchroom table
Mm,
experience because
that's fun.
I really, I would just watch, and then I was like the only girl that would jump in. And I mean, I had just started
Yeah, that's the
rapping.
best.
I had just started rapping, but they would amp me up so much. When somebody's telling you, I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
shit,
I'm
okay.
getting in.
So
Yeah.
so it became a thing where like every lunch I'm in the cipher. So
That's
I
the
remember
best. Yeah.
a couple of the MCs came over to my house
Okay.
after school one day, and we were talking. This one guy's like, well, if you can't freestyle off the top of the dome, but we called it freestyle, and if you can't freestyle, you're not really an MC. And I was like, uh-oh. And so what
Yeah.
I started doing was when I would be washing the dishes or doing chores around the house, I was rapping over not even instrumentals. I would rap over the song I was listening to just so
Ah,
I could
yeah.
practice it. Because in drama and in theater, I loved improv. So I'm like, oh, so freestyling is just improv
Yeah.
set to music.
That's
And
true.
so once I made that connection, it was
Got it.
on like Donkey Kong. And I really stopped writing because
Okay.
every time I rapped, I wanted it to be something off the top of my head. So when I started venturing out in Atlanta and going down to the spots like 5 Points and to the 5 Points flea market and to the different event, places to go into the mall, whatever,
Yeah.
I was always the girl. I was freestyling.
Wow.
Pretty much everybody was. I mean, that's just what we did. So I didn't come up battling like,
Yeah.
the cracking jokes on each other. We all would cipher and we would just like, you know, we were just
Raps.
okay, well, I got something, but it was never at each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
So because I freestyle, they would always pull me into battles right? And of course, I would always be battling a guy.
Yeah.
And what would happen is instead I would be, flexing off the top of them and he's talking about what I got on or like, my sexuality or
Yeah.
how battles go. The person's looking for the thing that can
Yeah.
get
They can
the
call out.
reaction from the crowd. So it ends up being like jokes,
Yeah.
like who can insult the other person the best. So
Yeah.
when you're rhyming off the top of your head on some philosophical shit versus somebody that's, you got a labret piercing telling you to button your lip up and shut up, and then of course, and so they would keep pulling me in, and this would keep happening, and I was getting like, I'm like, this is not cool. And so, I just learned that for me, with my personality type, I'm not necessarily a person cut out to battle,
Yeah.
even though I can rap off the top of my head because
Yeah.
for me personally,
Hmm.
and people who battle, don't take this the wrong way, but just for me personally,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy getting insulted.
Yeah.
I
I
just
I
don't.
hear you. I hear you.
So, but
I
I mean,
hear
the
you.
people that do it and are really good at it, I love it. I love to watch it, but I will not be in one. I
Yeah.
mean, and I was
We
in
fight.
Blaze back.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was in the Blaze. I've been in the Blaze. I was in Blaze magazine, so I did the Blaze battle. I
Wow.
did some stuff with Red Bull. Todd One, rest in peace. He was working on a show.
Yeah.
They said, "Hey, come out and audition for it." So, same thing. So, I mean, I've definitely been involved,
I know
but
you can do it. Kill
yeah,
Kill Bill 3.
yeah, no, but it just is not my ministry. It's
No,
not my
I hear
call.
you. I hear you though.
You know what I mean? It's just not my calling because I mean, people say it's just words, but I know the power that words have.
Yeah. Oh,
And I don't want to sign up,
yeah.
for me personally. For
I
me,
hear
it
you.
doesn't work. For me, because I take it personal.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I'm ready to
That's right.
fight.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You
So,
say one
I
thing
don't
on a
care.
bad
I don't
day.
care if it is a battle. You talked
Yeah,
about
right.
you
And
talked about me. So
yeah, I'm
yeah.
with you. I just wanted to recognize that you are capable of doing it.
Oh,
'Cause,
I'm definitely capable of it because I
yeah.
mean I'm, when I ask the men that I've dated when we've gotten into arguments, they'll tell
So,
you
yeah. Very, very
like
versatile.
yeah, the tongue is lethal. But I go low. So like I go low. Yeah. So I'm doing it to protect me, but
Yeah.
also protect because you
That's
can't take
right.
stuff back that you say.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
right. Right.
Yeah.
Because they
Yeah.
may, like you said, they may take it too serious and then, who
Yeah.
knows?
And because I know I've been very offended by some of the stuff that's been said.
Yeah. No,
So
you're
it's just
right.
not for me. It's not for me. And
Yeah.
that's okay. But again, the people that battle, I love to watch people. I think it's a phenomenal skill to be able to come up with
Yeah.
that shit off the top of your head in the heat of the moment. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about the ones that are pre-rehearsed. I'm talking about back when people was doing this off the top of the head, battling
Yeah.
and slicing that. Shh,
No.
that is amazing to me.
Yeah. I think you're
I
right.
love
I think I'm the
it.
same
Yeah.
way too. Like I can do it, but I think I
Yeah.
would take it too personal. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, I'm sensitive. I'm an artist. I'm sensitive. And I'm a Pisces. I know my weaknesses. You know what I mean? And I
But
think if more people, it's just like sometimes everything is not for you. And
yeah,
that's okay.
no, you're
You know,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Everything is not for you, and that is okay.
Yeah, and you said a couple things I wanted to peel back on.
Okay.
Freestyling too is yeah, you're right. It's an important part of the culture and the game if you're an MC. And I read stories of you performing where your set was freestyle with the Micronauts and when you met Doom, that you are so good that everyone was like, "Oh my God, who is she?" Like your pen game
Yeah, I mean
and just off the top game was
that's how
super
I met
good.
Doom. Actually, I was freestyling,
That's crazy.
with and we were at yeah,
And I
and
heard he loved it.
he did. And that's how we ended up working together. That really
Ah,
is
that's so
that's
dope.
really because that was the introduction. And then the next time we saw each other,
Yeah.
I had already been, I had signed my contract with Subverse.
Yep.
I was gonna put I had got, so I was on the roster and
Yeah.
we did like a showcase on Halloween out here. It's called
Ah, that
Kaya
is appropriate.
and he performed,
Yeah.
right. It's so crazy how because this is like the second, we've performed on Halloween together more than once.
Okay.
You know, so with that being the day that the day that he transcended is just so, but something about that day.
Yeah.
Um, but at that particular show, he actually got to see me do a set, with, songs that I had written. And he
Okay.
was like, yo, like, I want to work with
Working.
you. You meet people and it's like, okay, whatever. And we exchanged numbers and he called me the next week and I was over there recording my verse for Next Levels.
Oh man, that which is a dope song, and I'm gonna talk about that
Thank you.
song too later.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I didn't, I was where I was supposed to be. I was where I was supposed to doing what I was supposed to be doing, and he was there. So for all the people who were really upset, I heard there were a lot of people that were really upset and been out of shape because I got the opportunity to work with Doom. I didn't
Not
do
just
anything.
once, many times. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get to
but
drag. Yeah.
really here locally, a lot of people don't know that I know that there was a lot of shit talked about me
Oh, really?
simply because yeah,
Yeah,
there
I
were
get
some
it.
there were some
I
boys that
get
were
it.
in their feelings that they didn't get the opportunity, not knowing how I got it.
Yeah.
You
Uh,
know what I mean? And I got it literally just by being myself. Like I
yeah.
didn't stop a demo, I didn't sleep with anybody. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's messed up because there's still so much misogyny
Yeah.
in hip hop
Yeah.
that as a woman, you do really have to be like 10 times better than
Yeah.
everybody else, and you still may not
Yeah.
necessarily get the recognition um, or the opportunities that you deserve. And you always have to be mindful of the fact that there's going to be somebody out there who thinks that you probably slept with somebody or did
Yeah.
whatever to get wherever you got. And it's fucked up because, it's crazy, but
Yeah.
that's what misogyny is,
Yeah, yeah, it is crazy. I mean, I think once they see you perform, like it's
I
like
mean, it's
game over.
undeniable, but I'm just
Game
saying
over. But yeah, right. Stereotype.
but but there are definitely some people who surely tried to front and don't know that I
Mm.
know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I know. So if you're watching this, I know
You
what
know.
you said because the people you said it to love me.
Enough to tell
And they
you.
made sure I knew because they knew I was cool with you. And they were like, hey, sis,
Yeah,
just so you know, this person's talking mad shit about you. So
man.
the next time you hug that person or whatever, just for you to know.
Yeah. No, it's good to
And
know
now
for
I
sure.
say watch them because that's close to you and make sure they do what they supposed to do because
Well,
they be thinking about smoking you. Never personal. Nowadays is the ways.
man, that is so true. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's wild. Like, yeah, not
Because hip hop is very competitive. People, it is a
it is.
sport. It
It
is a
is.
non-physical sport. It is a mental, verbal sport. And
Yeah,
people are cutthroat and they are competitive. And anybody, oh, we're all no, you're not. Even when you're cool with somebody, it, MCs are supposed to think that you are the best. I am the best.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah.
we're cool and I love you and we friends, but when it comes to that mic, when it comes to these verses, I'm here to kill you.
Yeah, you're
Period.
right.
So we have to stop acting like it's not competitive.
Mm,
Like even the thing with Kendrick and Drake, oh, he's going too far. No, he's is he? Is
yeah,
he going too far? That's hip hop. It's
yeah,
always
that's a
been
good way to
competitive. Go back and watch Wild Style.
yeah, Pac,
You know,
Biggie,
go
Nas,
back and
Jay,
go back and go
KRS.
back and watch B Street. Go back and watch.
Yeah.
Nobody raps to be second.
And it was clicky too back then. It was I
Yeah,
felt it was
as
real
braggadocio
clicky.
as braggadocio as MC and as braggadocio. I'm this and I'm this and I'm big bad. Listen to I'm bad. Nobody can rap quite like I can. I take a muscle bound man and put his face in the sand. Not the last or MC Job. I make you say yo LL and do the
Yeah.
wop. He was popping his shit. Said
Good
forget
way, John.
Oreos, eat Cool J cookies. He was going after Orcas.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
No, that's a good point. I can see
Like,
how like folks get jealous because like
yeah.
they've made certain connects, but I mean,
But that's a character weakness in them. That's not my problem.
no, right, right.
You know what I'm
You
saying? Like I
you
said, but
earned
that,
your
but again,
spot. Uh,
most most MC, we are very. I will, and I don't know how many people admit this, but most artists, creatives, period, we've dealt with insecurity at some point in our life,
sure.
and the music has definitely helped. Like that's why people come up with a persona. So
Mm,
when you see an MC that just raps with their regular name, even that, like I mean, Star and Camila, that's two different people.
yeah, that's
You
true.
know what I mean? Because Star doesn't have the same issues that Camila has. It's the whole
Yeah.
Superman Clark Kent thing, Peter Parker, Spider-Man,
Princess Diana.
Jean Grey, Storm.
Angelica.
Exactly. And even with that, Angelica, that's Firestar.
I know, and I'm
Yeah.
always like, I'm a big comic book head,
Yeah.
and
So Doom actually is the one. He called me one day. He's like, "Yo, I had this dream. We were flying through the air. We were flying, and you were shooting out these blue lasers." And he
yeah.
goes, "I want you to go. I want you to go." He said, "Firestar from Spider-Man and Friends." I went to the comic book store. I bought every Firestar. I don't have number 4. I've got 1 through 3. That's all they had. And when I read her story, even down to her mom dying, her dad raising her, she had all this power and she didn't know what to, and then Firestarter, Charlie, like that's one of my favorite movies. That's why I use those
Oh
clips
yeah,
on Mother Nature
very
from a
funny.
Molotov. So back off, just
Oh,
back off. That that she is me and I am
that's
her.
the tie. Oh, that's
So,
crazy.
but I did the research, before I said, okay, I'm gonna accept this. Again, I'm a researcher. So I'm like, hell yeah, I am in Jill Jones. Absolutely. Like all day, Firestar. Yep.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
that Angelica thing, that was the because I knew that the Iceman, Firestar, and Spider-Man cartoon, and so I was very familiar with the
Yeah.
reference, and I love how that was your alias. We're at a time
Yeah.
too when Wu-Tang used all the different aliases, so
Yeah.
I
I
thought it
mean,
was super sick.
and we just never really got to do more Angelica stuff
Yeah, yeah,
because really, like, now I think I have probably evolved into more of what Angelica was gonna be. Because when I first started rhyming, I was like super, like I didn't cuss, and
yeah,
I was, my 3/4 cloth. I'm a, a one. I was, I was my spiritual journey and where I was in life. Like that's how I presented. Like I was
yeah,
at home meditating and burning incense and doing that. So you saw that like in my rhymes,
yeah,
like or and in how I presented myself to the world. I mean, I'd have a skirt on with Tim's underneath it, like
yeah. I love
you
it.
know,
Heck yeah.
so the more I kind of came out of, I guess, okay, I'm evolving spiritually, whatever, because I've been through many schools and through my music, people have seen me be, study Nuwabu. They see me as a Rasta. They see me study more. They see me as a Muslim. I mean, because I'm always studying.
Yeah,
And when I get involved in
life
something, I
learner.
mean, I go 100%. Like, I don't just make references. Like, if I'm talking about something, like if I talk about Ramadan, I've fasted for Ramadan. I'm not just using it as a clever. So, like, I actually have fasted for Ramadan. Like, I actually took my Shahada. I've actually done, I've done these things.
Wow.
So for me, it hits way different because I'm like, yeah, I've been to a Naya Bingy drum circle. I've been to Isis. I've chanted Isis. You know what I mean? Because I lived that.
Mm,
So for me, most everything I talk about, I have done.
experienced and yeah,
Yeah,
lived it.
but it's just
Yeah,
all my stuff is more like, I guess, spiritual, esoteric stuff, diet, being vegan, whatever, fasting. So, because, I'm talking about what I've experienced. I can't talk about selling drugs because I never did it. I
yeah,
may be able to speak from the perspective as, okay, this person is a crackhead and they can't write a rhyme, but they tell me their story and I can narrate,
sure.
but I don't have I mean, and as a writer, we do have the artistic license to really write about anything. I hate in hip hop limit. Oh, well, you can't talk about something. Of course you can. You're a writer.
Storyteller, right?
I'm a writer.
Yeah,
Still, like everybody still has the same story though. So, because there's a lot of people that talk about the same themes over and over and over again. And I'm not saying that they didn't live it, but I'm just saying like if we're only limiting ourselves to what we've done, then the music is going to be really one dimensional,
yeah, yeah. It's not going to expand. That's a great point.
and
Yeah,
that's why Doom, one of the reasons why he had all those different personas was because each of them was his way of expressing a different thing. And he's the one that told me, because I know he'd asked me about writing something. I was like, I don't know if I can write about that. I'm not comfortable. He said, listen, he said, you are a writer.
ooh,
You should be able to write about anything. You're a writer.
I like that.
And I was like,
True.
but I'm uncomfortable talking about that subject. He said, but you're a writer. You got to take yourself out of it. You know what I mean? Like a news reporter will write about whatever the story is. They're
Yeah.
just reporting. And it took me a while to really, because I was very abstract initially because I didn't necessarily want to directly
Yeah.
address certain things, because it's still, when you're sharing yourself, and then when you, because you are bearing your soul as a writer, and when you're sharing that with people, that's a lot to,
Yeah.
you're letting somebody into your world. So it's like, if you write a song about something that happened to you and it becomes personalized, but if you write about it and you make it a story, that's different.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Because again, if people like the song, you're going to have to keep reliving it.
Yeah.
So if you've had some kind of trauma and you write about it
You
and
can
people
always talk
like
about
that,
it.
then you have to keep reliving that.
Yeah.
Even with Redman saying that he doesn't really like the There Is a Dark Side album because of where he was,
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
love
wow.
that album. I love
Right.
it. It's probably my favorite Redman album. But
Right.
for him to say, I don't like that album,
Yeah.
I don't like it because it reminds me of a very
That
dark
time.
place that I was, but it's a great album.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, so people don't, I mean, I think fans will never really understand what they are getting from us. So when, a person is online doing a review an hour after you dropped an album that it took you 5 years to work on and critiquing it, and they know nothing about what you went through, or they've never, that to me, I think is one of the things that the social media, the internet, it's a great thing, but it's also like a really horrible thing, because everybody has a platform now.
Yeah.
Anybody can buy a mic and set up a podcast or whatever, and it's like it's so many people sharing their opinion and
Sure.
critiquing, and it's like, well, what are your qualifications to do so?
Right. Right.
And then even with artists interacting, and I mean, you shouldn't have to be online, defending your music to somebody just because they created an account
Yeah.
and they made a comment.
Yeah.
But I mean, here we are.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. It's too
So
easy.
yeah,
Um,
but it's a lot. I think that because we have spoiled people with giving them so much access, so much music, that people just kind of feel
attention.
like they can determine, well, I bought your album, so I can tell you what to do.
Yeah. No, no. That's
And it
I'm not
doesn't
sure.
work like that. That's not how it works. Oh,
No.
well, we made you. No,
Yeah.
you support what I do, but even if nobody supports me, I'm still gonna write.
Yeah. It's just
Even
like,
if I never put any music out ever again, I could sit in my house and rap in my mirror every day.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Because some
so
of these things they
that's never
say,
going that's never going away. And it's not that we don't I don't I want to make sure, because people will take things. It's not that we don't appreciate the people that support us, but just because you support us doesn't mean you get to dictate what we do.
yeah, or
Because then
decide to say what you want to
that's
say.
something else. That's something else.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a difference between appreciation and then some of just the hateful comments that come out sometimes. And
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's
Yeah.
not entitled to you to be a jerk, right? All right. Well, hey,
Well, yeah.
here's my favorite question to ask during interviews. So I always love to know the origin of an MC's name. Where did Star come from? Was that your first MC name, or was that later on?
Okay, so my first MC name was Hypa, Hypah, because
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
was
Yeah.
corny and I didn't, because I knew everybody's lyrics. So I'm like, yeah, I'm hyper because I could be a hype woman. I know everybody's lyrics. And
Uh,
yeah, so that was my little young 91,
that's
92
great.
little brain.
Yeah.
Uh, and then just as time went on, I was like, I want to change my name. And I was like, oh, okay, Star, Star, that's easy, that's simple. Nobody will mispronounce that. And then what are stars? They're these bodies of light. People use
Ooh.
them, you're using the stars to navigate,
Yeah.
astrology. And then I had one of my really good friends at the time was a Jamaican, Wapam Star, Wagwan Star. So it was like a combination of that. And then I put the two H's for
Yeah.
hip hop.
That's
So
that's
that's it. Yeah, I just wanted something that
I love it.
I didn't. I mean, I had a friend from Chicago that's like hyper, like a hype. And hype is a crackhead. And they're like,
Oh,
you
you're
do
like,
you want to
oh,
do you want to go by that now? I'm like,
no.
dang, you got a good point there. Do I don't want to be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
hype. You're right.
Hell no.
So around 96,
Yeah.
I changed the name.
Yeah.
And
I
then
love the
it
way
was
you spell it too. It's
and
awesome.
it was Star. Thank you. It was Star the FemC at first, and FemC was feminine energy, mastering creativity
Yep.
to elevate eternal. And then FemC became a big thing, and then we're well, why we got to be FemCs? And I'm like, well,
Right.
I was the FemC. I
That's right.
wasn't asking other women to be
Yeah,
FemCs.
yeah, right.
And
Right.
then there was somebody else was like, well, I was calling women femcs before you. I was like, well, I didn't know you. So as far as I knew, I created it. So, it brought a lot of controversy because of course, we all live in our own bubble. So if you're over here and you started using a term and then somebody over here started using a term, you think you came up with it because you don't know they exist and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I just dropped it.
Yeah. No, it's good to
I
hear
was
from
I
your
just
mouth.
I outgrew it. It was, I'm like, okay, it's cool. I don't like it's fine. It's whatever. Because
Yeah.
I don't want something like that to take attention away from the music. So if it's you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. It's like boom star. Now they misspell it.
I
So that has been an issue with the StaRHH and just all kind of stuff. But
oh,
for the
okay.
most part, people get it right. But yeah, star, it's just simple,
Yeah.
easy to live up to. A star shines. I'm brighten like the
I
bright
love it.
colors.
The body of
So
light.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so it fit me.
Yeah. I had never known, I had never seen the true story on why the double H's were capitalized. That's
Yeah,
what I guessed. So it's good to
yep,
hear from your mouth to
yep.
confirm my suspicion. Super cool.
That's
Um,
it.
I want to talk to you also about your first album, Almost Never Was, and
Oh, sure.
yeah, a hip hop classic in my book, and just I picked some of my favorite tracks. I told you earlier, Grandmasters, I love it. Apple of my Zion Eye, Flying High, Most Tightly, Common Sense, The Lightly. You better, yeah, like if you know hip hop, I knew all those references. Zion
Yeah,
Eye,
it
Common
was it
Sense,
was a really deep dive into
yeah, and it
like
wasn't
how
just
well do
like
you know hip hop?
that's right.
Right.
Beautiful as Murray. Oh yeah. Yeah, I
Yep.
know. Yeah. So I just thought that was cool. Grandmaster, no flash in the pan. My main man, back out spray cans can hold it down.
Yep.
We fam. Just a tribute to all the elements of hip hop,
Yep.
and I
That's
love the
what it was.
original. Yeah, the original was my favorite, and you put both the remix and the original on the album,
I
right?
did.
So, yeah,
Yep, I did. Yeah, so people could have that.
yeah, that option. Yeah.
And they were both done by Locksmith.
Oh, like the locksmith from what?
Locksmith, Floyd the Locksmith.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm a big Locksmith fan on the West Coast, so super
Yeah, I
dope.
haven't met him yet, but he's dope. We haven't crossed paths yet.
Yeah, y'all would be
But if you want,
dangerous.
hey, Locksmith, what's up?
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, Rhyme Fluid was my other favorite song. Star is a bad mother. Rhyme to it. Rhyme
Yeah.
fluid. 80 proof influence. The
That
vibe
was
was
the that
doing
was
it.
the single. That was the Subverse debut, the vinyl,
Man.
because back then we
Yeah.
didn't have social media. So if you didn't have vinyl,
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
you
That's
had to
true.
have vinyl to get, you had to have to get on those, we had the CMJ charts that was,
Yeah.
and that single actually charted for me to be an unknown artist. I was like in the top,
Oh,
25 several weeks, often being, the only woman as well, but
sick song.
someone who just wasn't really known. But the DJs that got that record, they really Mike Lupica. That was
Yeah.
one of the he was one of the biggest supporters of that song. And I remember I met him during CMJ. We
Gotcha.
had a show. I had a show with Doom. He did High Times Magazine did a
Yeah.
metal face showcase, and I got to meet a lot of those DJs like at that show. So that was
Wow.
really dope too, to meet the people who were actually, putting my numbers on the board, helping me put numbers on the board. That was a big deal for me to
Yeah.
be from not only be from the South,
Yeah.
but to be a new artist.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And to be up
Oh,
there like
oh,
with Eminem and just different other artists that had, singles
yeah.
on the chart at the time. So that was a big deal.
Yeah. Did you get to pick the single as your lead single, or was that the label that picked that song from?
No, I picked it like
Oh,
Rhyme Fluid because what we did, they wanted to do a maxi single.
Okay.
So Rhyme Fluid was the lead, and then we
Yeah.
came up with the three other songs.
Okay. Yeah, that's such a dope
So
song.
me and
Keep in
because
mind.
ID produced like most everything. I think ID did everything else. No, Locksmith did too, and ID did too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite
Yeah,
songs.
ID did ID Four Winds from Science of Life, Invisible Hands. He did Grits and Rhyme Fluid,
Yeah,
and then
Grits is
he did
dope.
Beautiful Experience too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. That was just
And Wisdom was Locksmith.
okay. Yeah. And
And Wisdom was Locksmith and uh why can I not think right now? Yeah, Locksmith did Wisdom.
yeah.
Beautiful Experience was ID.
Okay.
Rhyme Fluid was ID. And then what was the other song that was on there? Grits?
Grits. And that was probably my favorite beat on
Yeah,
that
and that was
album.
ID also. So yeah, Locksmith
Yeah.
did the one.
Yeah. Girl
I think
raised
I'm
in
thinking
the
about
South.
my album too, but yeah, the single only had the four songs on it.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the debut. It's a big deal when you record your first album. What was your mind going through when you were putting your first official solo album together?
So this is the thing. I had my son in 2007, February of 2007,
Oh,
right?
right before. Yeah.
And so, yeah, and so at that point, once I got into my okay, boom, I'm a mom, I have my little routine down. I was like, oh, I still want to do music.
Okay.
And so at the time, I looked at what I had, like what music I had.
Okay.
Because I was like, if I don't put this album out now, I was like, I've been doing music for like 10 years. Because at that point, I started releasing, being on releases in 98. So this is my 10-year mark. I said, if I don't do something now,
Yeah.
so that's where Almost Never Was came from. Because like I almost
Oh, I
was like,
see
I'm just gonna
why the
focus on being a
title.
mom. But
Yeah.
I looked at what I had, and I had a lot of songs.
Okay.
And so I think I may have had like a core of like maybe six,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I added, and I'm like, okay, boom, let's do it. So that's really what happened. So it wasn't that it was necessarily the songs weren't necessarily made at the time they were all made. It wasn't determined whether or not there was going to be an album or not. So I kind of just put what I had together
I
to put
see.
an album out.
Yeah. Oh
And
man.
and
So much
Shaman
dope,
Works.
man.
Shaman Works, my brother John Robinson, Shaman Works, him and
Yeah.
Chris Kraft, that was their lip. So that they actually helped, get everything together and get it put out. So
Such a dope
the
project.
Beat Vision, Shaman Works, yeah. So
Yeah, I hold that
that's what it
album in high
was.
regard. It's a great
Thank
project.
you.
Yeah, so just a big fan of that record, and yeah,
I
it's
have a couple of
it's
international
timeless.
producers on there too. Like, I had some people from Australia did some production.
Yeah,
So
it's
France, I think I brought somebody from France, So again, at
very
that
fluid.
time too, I was getting a lot of people from overseas, like just off of when I did, the Rhyme Fluid single. For some reason, I just got on the radar. Like Australia was hitting me up really
Yeah,
heavily, New Zealand, France,
that's dope.
So I had the opportunity to work with a lot of overseas producers as well, like early in my career.
Well, I mean, your music is certainly global, and that's why I wanted to mention too. The album is still, even when you listen to it now, it holds up with a lot of the amazing stuff. It's timeless. Just
Thank you. I
yeah,
really appreciate that.
yeah.
Like
It's great. Yeah. So yeah, do you actually own the vinyl still from Rhyme Fluid? Still, do you own
I
the
have
copy?
like I know my parents have one. They
Oh,
have
that's
one that
great.
they keep in the
Just as
house.
long as there's one in
And,
existence. Yeah.
yeah, and when the label, I don't want I guess when I do we want to say folded? Well, it
No,
did
no.
fold.
Just when, yeah,
When
when,
the
yeah.
Yeah, when the label folded, they
Yeah.
called and they were like, "Hey, we've got a bunch of, stuff, got some of your vinyl and CDs in
Yeah.
storage." And I happened to be in the city, and
Uh-huh.
I went up to the office and I got what they had, and then
Fantastic.
I was selling it at, shows, couple of them online, but sending vinyl through the mail as somebody who actually now works at the post office, I would, sending it through the mail, I'm like, yeesh, you gotta
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes, but Well, I guess it just really depends on how you pack it, but I've seen horror stories where people have like, had their vinyl, like the carrier tried to like bend
Warped
it to
out.
force it into their mailbox or whatever. But I think I might have a few,
That's awesome.
maybe one or two other, but they're somewhere at my parents' house in
Yeah, just
storage. So
yeah.
I
You
so
got
I
you
know
got
they have at least one that they keep up. They have like a
uh,
little mantle and
that's
it's
great.
up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
a
been up
good
there.
reminder of some awesome
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and so amazing project, definitely a favorite in my book. And then the stuff that you dropped with Doom on with the King when he used next levels. Yeah,
Yeah.
when he went by King Ghidorah for that song.
Yep.
But whoo, man, your lyrics. I'm gonna
Thank you.
drop one rhyme for every time I
Yeah.
cross the thin line between yours and mine. See, it's
Hey, I
part
had to
of the
make sure I
design.
got called back. That was my first opportunity to work with
Yeah,
you.
right, right,
I
right,
had to make
right.
sure. I had to make
Yeah,
sure it wasn't gonna be the
right.
last one.
Yeah,
They call that hunger.
yeah,
That
you're
you
right.
have.
The
Yeah, I was
call back.
hungry,
You're
baby. I was
yeah,
hungry. I was trying to make sure I stayed in the fold.
yeah. That's funny. That was your audition. Yin and yang
That was my
combined.
audition. If it was.
Must
It
be out your
was.
mind. Star would never shine. I just have to mention some of these because I appreciate as an MC
Thank
too. The pen game, magnetic
thank
attraction, raw as Millie Jackson, straight
Yep.
open in the captions. Here comes the Hicks and Braxton
Yeah.
lyrical contraction. I was like, God dang.
See, I gave birth, so
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
to do something that I went through in life and
Oh,
put it
nice.
into the.
Yeah,
I know about Braxton Hicks, the false
yeah,
labor.
yeah, that's right. That's
No,
that's some real
the
shit
little
for
Braxton
sure.
Hicks contractions, like they let you, let
Yeah.
you know what's about to go down. But yeah,
I was
so I mean,
feeling it
uh,
hard. Yeah.
and I loved how he never tried to steer me to do anything any particular way. He was like,
Yeah.
just do you. It was
Yeah.
never say this and say this and say I mean, nobody ever wrote for me.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever written is me. It's always me. And it's great to have
That was not.
people that you work with that don't really try to make you be anything other than what you are. And that's important because you hear about artists all the time. Oh, well, they're trying to, create you or turn you into something, whatever. Like I've
Yeah.
never had anyone do that to me, thankfully.
Was he in the room when you recorded that verse?
Yeah, I did it at his house. He had like the
Oh
setup
my
in his basement.
God.
Like I was looking at a picture of Sub Rock on the wall with the setting
Yeah.
when I recorded. Yeah, everything
Uh-huh.
that I did, he was always there when I recorded.
Sick.
So when me and Four Eyes did Guinness's, we both went to his house and recorded there. When I did Still Dope, he
Yeah.
was in the studio with me. Like, yeah, everything I recorded for him
Yeah.
and with him, he was always there.
Uh,
Every single time. And I'm just thinking back, I'm like, dang, we didn't have camera phones and stuff back then. Like, if we had just known, like I was so in the
going.
moment with everything. I just wasn't, getting pictures and video. Because
Yeah.
we're not thinking about we're so content driven now.
Yeah.
But back then, even when I went on tour with him,
Yeah.
I didn't even I sat back and studied.
Yeah.
And
You
I'm like,
never,
oh man, I wish I
you
had.
just wanted to do good.
I know, but now I'm like, man, I wish I had to, because
Yeah. No, you're
but
right. You're right.
because we weren't as content driven as we are
That's
now.
right.
So you really got to experience
That's what
like
it is. The
those
experience.
memories. I mean, nobody can ever take that,
Yeah.
those experiences, and then I don't have to worry about them being exploited either because that's another side of it. Sometimes having everything recorded, and I mean, it's still kind of,
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you could flip it. You could flip it in the wrong way if you know.
yeah, and
It
that's, I
becomes wrong.
mean, I am a spiritual person, and I do believe, that when so many people have access to pictures of you and just
Yeah.
different things, and because even in Islam, taking photographs, like if you ever see, like, a lot of Muslim women, they'll they will cover, the eyes, or so you can't see the eyes, because, just spiritually, these are the windows to your soul. And when people have access to things where they can try to tap in, because I mean, I'm very spiritual, so I definitely believe a person can just look at a picture of you, and
Yeah.
or think, people can, it's
Channel or
mental
manifest something.
warfare.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yes, so if there's somebody out there, now again, they don't know what you're working with, but I mean, there's definitely people, what they call the evil eye. I mean,
yeah,
that's a real thing,
yeah, yeah. It came from
you know.
somewhere.
Yeah,
People say it for a reason.
yeah. So
Yeah, no, amazing track. I love that verse too. It's awesome to know that they were all in the room. You mentioned Guinness's too, this track that you did with Four Eyes, who is another
yeah,
Atlanta MC. That dude is amazing.
he is amazing.
Freaking
He is
flow,
so amazing.
nuts.
And the reason why he's even on the song is because I needed a chorus, and I was
Yeah.
so horrible at choruses. So
Ah,
I went over to his house
so you guys
just
are
to ask him.
friends from back in the
Oh
day.
God, yeah, he's
Oh
been
my,
my friend for over 20 years. Yeah,
I
that's
love his
family.
I love his
That is
personality. Yeah,
that is family. And most of the people I work with, I actually have like real relationships and friendships with. I don't
yeah.
just I don't just work with everybody.
Yeah.
I like to have actual real connection with people that I work with
Right.
as much as I can. But like he's family. I mean, I know his mom, his brother. Like, yeah, I've known. So,
Yeah.
but
Go.
I went to him because he is such a good. He's so good at, because he's songwriting. A lot of people that are MCs don't necessarily know how to write songs, but
Okay.
there is a structure. I mean, read songwriting books. All this stuff. It again, it is still, you are still a writer, and you are a musician, and you are making songs. So even though you're a rapper, and yes, do things, have your own style, whatever, but it's nice to know the structure, because when people get mad at these so-called mumble rappers, and I really hate
Yeah.
that term, these people, they know how to write songs. That is why the songs are popular,
Right.
because they know how to write them. They know the song structure. They make the repetitive effects. So it's like,
Good point.
it's you. Yeah, I see. I've that angry backpacker. I'm not an angry backpacker anymore.
Okay. Yeah, but no,
But
no, right.
shouts out to all the angry backpackers out there. But I'm not one anymore.
Yeah.
And I
You
also,
understand. Yeah.
yeah, and when you have children also, and then your children, like, I definitely put my son on to the music I grew up listening to. And I mean, he really has great taste in music, but if he likes the music of his generation,
Yeah.
I'm not going to
You can't
castigate him
fault.
for that.
No, that is a great
Because he's
point.
supposed to like the music of
Yeah.
his generation, just like we like the music of our generation. But um, wanting to, you still need to be able to write songs or
Yeah.
have some kind of structure, because it's still, I mean, you think about poetry, poetry, when you write stories, you got you got your different, the beginning and the middle, and then the different, I don't know why I'm having a brain freeze, but if you take any grammar or English classes, and like if you're writing an essay, this is the format for an essay.
All
If you're
right.
writing a research paper, this is the format for a research paper. If you're writing a haiku, if you're writing so it's just knowing, not that you have to have that, but it's just an extra thing in your arsenal, just like being able to freestyle. If I know how to write songs in a
Yeah.
format, like if I want to get a song played on the radio, right, then
Yeah.
it would behoove me to write the song in that structure,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that it's set up. Like, remember, Guru said taking at least 3 minutes of every radio hour, because it became to a point for radio play, you had to have a 3-minute song. So that's why the songs that were super, super long, once we got more, we want a radio play, we started, you know, uh
Shaping it.
formatting the songs for the radio. That's why you have the radio edit versus the long play edition. And
Yeah.
then even now, where we have more
Even
people doing
shorter.
people are doing 2 verse songs, or
Yeah.
doing because it's the attention
That's right.
span, and
Yeah.
it's the standard. So I
Mhm.
mean,
Shorter
I
and
went to
shorter.
him because I was horrible at choruses. Now I since then have gotten better, I think, because I've studied different people who are great at writing choruses, and even like just taking like little bits of information. And I know Most Def, or excuse me, Yasin Bey, but at the time he was going by Most Def.
That's right.
He was like, he said he treats his chorus as like a mini, like it's the summary of the song.
Yeah.
Then there's some people who say, don't say the name of the song in the chorus, or just different little, so I just took these little gems from everybody, but we came up with that chorus. He wrote half of it, I wrote half of it.
Okay.
Um he probably really wrote more than half, to be honest, but we were throwing the ideas back and forth.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was an
Results of the
opportunity. It was
conversation.
also an opportunity for me to give someone who I respected as an artist and I thought was amazing to have the opportunity to meet Doom and
Yeah.
then to also be on a Doom record, because that is what we did here, because were we worked together and we wanted to share the platforms, because if you win, I win. So
Yeah.
that is the community, like the hip hop community in Atlanta that I grew up in.
Yeah.
We crossed over with each other so much.
Yeah.
Like if we knew this person was gonna be opening, for Gangstar, and we have a collab, they're
Hmm.
gonna call, hey, can you come and do your verse tonight? Because that's what you did.
Yeah. That's
That's
love.
what that's what you did.
Yeah.
And that's what I come from. So I was like, if I have an opportunity to be on a bigger platform, I'm gonna bring people with me who I feel are worthy of and deserve to
Yeah.
be on that platform.
Oh,
And
that's great.
and that, I've connected a lot of people like Floyd the Locksmith. I introduced him to Science of Life. So it just,
Oh,
we keep, we just keep,
yeah. Sharing and
expanding.
building.
Yeah. Lyric Jones introduced me to Keisha Plum, and me and Keisha Plum became, like, that is
Wow.
my sister. So it's just somebody knows somebody, they introduce you to somebody, and then that starts its own little world, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh, I
So
love it. Yeah. The
yeah.
community just grows and expands.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing. And so how do you feel about when you first started, you recorded your first album to where you're at today in terms of your style? How do you feel it's evolved? So if you think about the day one hyper to star now, how do you feel your
Oh yeah.
style has changed?
Way more polished, able to um get my concepts across in a less convoluted way without watering it down so much, and still being able to like talk about the themes that I talk about, but in a way where a person doesn't feel like they're being preached to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, when you're talking about things that are esoteric, or you
Yeah.
know you can kind of come across like being conscious can sometimes come across as preachy
Yeah,
to,
true.
you know what I mean? And so just I feel like I'm way more refined, even like my delivery and certain things, because I use a lot of I use a lot of words.
Yeah.
I'm very verbose. So just learning how to get all those words into a bar, but without it sounding jumbled. I just, and I like where I am, and I hope that I continue to get even more refined. But I think this is where um I feel more confident than I ever felt
I love it.
as an MC. I used to edit myself to, it's like I was such a perfectionist that I couldn't get any songs done because I was constantly, changing. So now, even with the way that I write now, like my writing approach, to where I don't move past, like I write, I'm a little two bars, two bars, two bars. I may not sit down and write like a whole 16. So
Yeah.
I'll take the two, and then I will, okay, I want to get these perfect to where I want them. Boom, I'm done with those. Now
Yeah.
so it just, even my writing technique and the way I approach, because I really wasn't getting anything done because I just was so critical and
I
so.
see.
But I think the more you love yourself and the more confident you are, and that just all comes with growth and life experiences, and learning different coping mechanisms and releasing things. And so the music that I do going forward, I think is going to be even better, because I feel even better about myself. I haven't really been focused on music right now because I have some other stuff going on. But like when all that is done and I get to focus in on music, I think it's gonna be like super amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Phenomenal.
But I
And
don't really, like, I'm past the point where I don't have anything to prove. Like I make music if I want to make it, when I want to make it,
Yeah.
about what I want to make it about. So, I mean, again, like I said, I'm perfectly content sitting in my house writing rhymes and rapping in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, if I never perform again or never release any other music, I'm happy with what I have done to this point. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
As it should be.
But even if I were to try to stop though, unfortunately, nobody will allow me to do that. Every time I'll meet like
Right.
some young fan that I have that,
Yeah.
like I recently then this really just got my heart. So there's this young man named Odin Frost. I don't know if he'll ever see this.
Okay.
And Odin he's autistic and he's nonverbal,
Okay.
but he responds to music like it's just like seeing the joy and seeing him feeling and so I think Knots might have posted him because the parents will like if he's listening to the music, they'll post the little clips and tag the people. And so I commented and they're like, wait a minute, are you Star? Odin has a song that he loves called Guinness's on an MF Doom album. Is that you? And I'm like,
Oh
yes.
man.
And so then they like posted him and he's rocking to my mute. And I'm just like, oh my God. And he's just so amazing.
So
He's like the first um nonverbal actor. Actually, he has a character on this PBS cartoon, a PBS Kids cartoon called something the Collector. What is his name? Carl the Collector.
uh,
So he is a little nonverbal character named Paolo.
okay.
And so oh my God. And I'm just like, I have to keep making music
Yeah.
because the fact that
That's what it
you
does.
you just don't know who you're touching.
Yeah. That absolutely so true.
And so that recently really got me. And it's stuff like I was like, yeah, you got to keep making music.
Yeah.
So big up to Odin and his parents, the Frost family. And this is just recent, like within the last 2 weeks.
Thank
But
you for sharing
it
that.
really made me think about like, you
Yeah.
just don't know who listens to your music. And I mean, you know, that just takes me to how universal music is. And then
Yeah.
it's also a spiritual thing because whatever I put into that song, he liked it. And it touched him to the point where, like, because it's your favorite song, like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, one of your favorite, that's dope. And like I said again, those to me, that is better than any Grammy. That is better than any top
The
5 position to
impact.
know that something I created is having that kind of effect and that impact
Yeah.
on people's lives. Like
You're right.
that's to me, like I said, everybody's idea of success is different. So what success looks like to me is totally different than anybody else.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Like, like I don't base my success on how many records I sold. I
Yeah.
don't. Because that, I mean, if it was really about sales, I know what to do if I want to sell. So
True.
again, anybody can sell a lot of records if they know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like remember what Mortal the Technique said, it just because you sold 2 million copies doesn't prove that you're good. Just means that there 2 million people are stupid as
That's
fuck.
right.
So
That's right.
so because sales is different. You know what I mean? Of course, if you get some, I mean, anybody could sell a lot of records if they follow a format.
No.
Anyone could. Anyone could. But to touch people's lives, everybody can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. The writing. The
Yeah,
writing.
and that's the writing and even the beat that you choose
Yeah.
because that's all part of it too.
That's important. Beat
You
choice.
know what I mean? And
No
so,
doubt.
I mean, yeah,
I
I know for sure the beat, yeah, and then what you say, because your voice is an instrument, so it's still, the
It's
vocals,
that
that's still
combination.
part of the music,
No, you're right. It,
you
it's
know.
total package for sure.
Yeah, so that, yeah, man.
Yeah, you are a absolute staple to the community. Your catalog is
I really
amazing.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
your pen game. I mean, everything. You are the total package. Your performance game, just a true, true piece of hip hop. Your contributions will never be forgotten. I'm so
Thank you.
happy that you are still making music and just,
Oh, thank
I
you.
appreciate you, and that's why I reached out and I had to. So I am honored that you gave me the opportunity to
Oh,
tell you
absolutely. And see, it's because you got
share
that
the
Memphis in
story.
there. You got that Memph.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
like,
you.
wait a minute, you from Memphis? What's going on?
Yeah. I'll have to tell you the story
Okay.
on another time, but I
Okay.
love to close these interviews out with just some fun questions. So
Okay.
if you are ready, let's do it.
Let's
I'm
do
a
it.
big comedy guy. I love to laugh. What is Star's favorite comedy movie of all time? I know it's a tough question to pick
Oh
one.
my God. Of
Pick
all
one.
time.
4 star.
Oh man. And I could only choose one.
Okay, I'll give you two.
Gee, this is so difficult.
I know it is. Yeah.
Wow. Friday
Yeah. Oh, great choice.
and Dogma.
Oh man, really? Oh, that one's a
Dogma
surprise
is
for me.
Dogma is fucking hilarious.
That's a surprise.
It is.
That's the
Yeah.
one with Matt Damon, right? Is that right?
And
Ben
Chris
Affleck.
Rock and Salma Hayek and Ben, yeah,
That's a
yeah,
good
and
one.
George Carlin is in it.
That
Yeah.
is a
Yeah,
good movie.
Dogma. I mean, because you said I could only pick two.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
because I mean I have a million.
Right, right, right.
But yeah, I would say Friday and Dogma.
Great choices. Good movie. Dogma. I forgot about that one. It's been a minute since I
No,
watched
that's what I'm saying. Dogma is the
it. That's
shit.
funny.
Like that movie is it's funny, it's scary, it's
Yeah,
like it's
that's what I remember
everything.
it for, being scary at the time.
Well, yeah, because it's talking about life and death. So
Yeah,
that
that's right.
that's where the actual fear is. Because
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
necessarily a scary movie.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And then you think about dogma and religion and just what the, yeah, I remember so the first time I watched that movie actually like big up. Okay, so Hebrew Brantley,
Okay,
the artist who
okay,
did the cover work for the De La Soul Cabin in the Sky, he's a
okay.
brilliant artist. He's a brilliant artist, sculptor. Hebrew and I knew each other in college. And so I remember one year he invited me and a friend, we went over for like a Friendsgiving, Thanksgiving dinner, and we were smoking weed, eating our vegan Thanksgiving, and we watched Dogma.
Oh, how fun.
And it was such a good movie. I love it. It became one. It was it became one of my favorite movies. It was so good, and I remember being high and watching it, and I really was super because they were talking about the world ending. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God. And I got paranoid. But yeah, so big up Hebrew. I hope you're doing well. But
Uh,
yeah, that's how I got put on the dogma.
great,
And
great choice.
such a good movie. Like
It
legit,
is.
yeah. That movie is it
You got the
really
two
watch it
thumbs
again.
up.
It's and then and then Silent Bob and Jay, because
Yeah.
Silent Bob Jay is fucking hilarious.
The
So
cast of that movie was dope.
yeah, that was a really, 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 really good movie. I absolutely loved it.
Great choice. All
But
right.
it's super funny. And Friday, of course. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Big.
quote Friday in almost every day, something from Friday. What you got on my 40?
Yeah.
Got on my 40, homie.
It's a given. Yeah.
My neck and my back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's ill.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, Friday in terms of like a quotable.
Oh man.
I'm like,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was a great flick for sure. Great choices. All right. All right, okay, here's the next one for you. If you could eat only one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ethiopian food
Oh,
all day. Ethiopian food. Yep.
I spent some time in DC. I didn't realize there was a big Ethiopian
Oh,
population
huge.
in DC.
Ethiopian and Somali. Yep.
Yeah, so there were a lot of Ethiopian restaurants. I was like, let's
Lots.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Hey, Star's favorite color and why?
Now, see, I have a lot of favorite colors, but I'm gonna go ahead and say pink
All right.
because I mean, but I have many, but pink because pink is just such a soft and it's a feminine color, and I just feel so girly when I wear it. I love all shades of pink.
Okay.
I love it. It's like my power color.
There you go.
I love it. It makes if I don't feel good, if I put on something pink, it like boosts my mood. I love it.
I love
I
it.
mean,
Yeah, that's
look,
great.
yeah, I have so many things that are pink. It's crazy. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My last two questions for you. Star's biggest pet peeves.
Mm. How many do I get?
I'll give you two.
Okay. Okay, biggest pet peeves. Ooh, gosh, man, I got so many. Mm. Okay, one of them for sure, people who have bad boundaries,
Mm,
and that's like physical boundaries.
all too close.
Uh, yeah, physical boundaries, but also people who just have bad, they overshare or they're not respectful
Mm,
of, your boundaries.
sure, sure.
You know,
Okay.
um, yeah, and people that click the fork when they eat. God,
Uh,
I,
noisy eaters, huh?
yeah, the clicking of it's really the clicking of the fork.
Yeah, fork
Yeah.
against the tooth.
Because I'm very prone to sensory overload. So
Okay.
I actually have a lot of pretty much anything sensory related, like too much cologne,
Yeah.
people
Oh,
wear
okay.
heavy yeah, so I have sensory overload. So really I should have just said anybody who offends any of my senses. Because I get
I
overwhelmed.
like
Like
that.
I get
I like that
overwhelmed.
response.
Yeah, I get overwhelmed very easily. And that's even like with people like that want to send you a bunch of texts back to back or
Ah,
sending me a bunch of like reels and stuff. I'm not looking at that stuff because I don't know what's in there if I open it. It might be something traumatic.
yeah.
Like I said, I don't think we talk enough about sensory overload. I think I need to be the spokesperson for
Yeah.
sensory overload and what that because it'll cause me to shut down. Like
Yeah.
I can't, it's too much. And if I get overloaded, I have to like, okay, I got to take a time out.
Yeah.
It's too the smells and the lights and the no, it's just too much.
Yeah. That's probably the best answer I got for that question since I've been
Yeah.
doing these interviews. Good one.
Yeah, I'm a really big boundary person.
Yeah.
I'm very, and it's there are so many things that we are taught that are polite that are
Mm.
actually really signs of poor boundaries.
Mm.
And when you're a person who, you always become the bad guy. When in
Sure.
actuality, it's the normalizing of these things that are actually, in fact, poor boundaries. But we've been taught that it's polite, being polite, and
Yeah.
then people will get so offended.
Yeah.
Like shaking hands for me, and even before COVID, but it's like I
Ah,
don't know if you washed your hands. I don't know where they've
sure.
been. You may have sweaty palms, and people get so offended
Yeah.
when they people even get so I start doing, and I'm like, why are you offended? Because I'm trying to give you a pound. I
Yeah.
don't want to touch your open. I don't know where your hands have been.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
I'm just be bowing to people and stuff. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
but no, people get really offended. Like I know when I first took my shahada, and I was just super like
Oh,
everything by
my.
the book, and I was telling men, I can't hug you. You're
Mm.
not related to me. I had men that wanted to fight because I told them that they couldn't touch me, they couldn't hug me,
Yeah.
and then they were questioning, "What do you do? Everything else? Are you praying 5 times a day? Are you? I mean, what are you, the Muslim police?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, but seriously, and
Um,
again,
yeah. Yeah.
touching people and being in their personal space, that's poor boundaries. However, we're taught this is polite.
Yeah.
Or that if somebody does something different, every culture may have a different way of greeting. And I just feel like here specifically, because this is the only place that I've lived, we really don't give, as a whole, Americans do not really embrace anything that is not the status quo when it comes to stuff like that. And it's almost like people that come here from other places are kind of forced to put their cultural norms to the side to otherwise they're seen as a threat.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
No, no, I hear you. No, that was a fun response though, for sure. Okay, my final question for you. If you can have a meal with anybody, past or present, dead or alive, who would it be?
Have a meal with them.
Mm, to talk story and just appreciate that time with that person.
Asada Shakur.
Oh,
And
what's
I couldn't
why?
tell anybody about the conversation. It would just be between me and
So
her. Just,
good.
yeah, like
You're entitled to
because I
that
need
for
to know
sure.
how she did it.
Yeah.
Like, how did you do it? How did you make it through, sister? How, you know, because that was a real, yeah, yeah, she's something else.
100%.
Yeah, so I would definitely want to see how she pulled that off and maintained it until she passed.
Yeah. Amazing answers to all these fun, lighthearted questions, and
Yeah, I love this is the best part.
yeah, and you know, you don't never want to share them because you want them to think on the spot, and so well done. And again, just
Oh, I'm a great on the spot thinker. So you got, like I told you, that improv.
it's clear. No,
Yeah.
I really appreciate that the time that you gave me. You know, time is the most important resource to
Oh,
me.
right.
You can't get it back. So, again, just for someone of your level and just position in rap, I thank you for that time.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really appreciate the fact that I don't even have any new music out and that people even want to interview me and talk to me. I will never not be
yeah.
humbled by that.
You just dropped that
You know?
single in May, though, so
Yeah,
I
but I
beg to
mean,
differ.
I guess.
So, yeah,
I mean, I'm appreciative of, like I said,
yeah.
I'm just like, I don't promote myself really. And to just see people still tapping in, that's really dope. So I'm like, dang, imagine if I was really pushing.
Ooh, man,
But I
wow.
will. Like once I get, like I said, once I get back into, that mode, album mode, it's just I'm in my little hibernating
That's right.
period. But it's,
Yeah, I saw you kill that stage on that post. Shoot. So
that muscle
amazing.
memory, baby. Muscle memory.
Yeah. Well, with that,
I mean, I love it. I definitely love performing. I would love to do it more, but again, I know I'm gonna have to put out, some new music for that.
yeah, I watched that thing. I was just like, God dang. But
And I
uh,
love that, like
amazing.
we just like we're always gonna do that. Like I for the rest of my life, I'm gonna always do at least one of my, Doom features because that helps us keep him alive as well.
Yeah, great point.
And it gives the
Point.
fans, you know, a piece of you're still getting to experience him, through
Yeah,
us.
yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
that is a great gift, that we are still here and we have this music, and as long as we're alive, he's alive.
That's right.
He lives, and like I said, I would not even really be where I am today without him, and just the jewels that I got from him and the opportunity that he gave me by putting me on those projects. I mean, I'm on an album that hit over 1 billion streams at Food, and I'm like, that's amazing, because I probably would never do that with my own album. You know what I mean?
No,
But that's, I mean, just, but seriously, so, and I don't have any problem saying that. Like, yeah, it's wonderful to be able to be a part of a legacy like that.
yeah, 100%.
And not, but because, you just happened to be in the studio when he was recording, but because you were like, hey, I sat out in it, because he planned everything.
Yeah, it
So
was an invite. Yeah,
every album he did, he already knew what he wanted. Even the beat that he used, like the special herb that he gave me, um, for Guinnesses. The
yeah.
song he sampled from was a love song.
Mm.
Then the name of the herb was lavage root. And that's something that you use, in love spells. And so I'm like, how
Shoot.
did he know I was going to write a love song? But because
Yeah,
that's what I ended up writing, because I always let the beat talk to me. And that's what the beat asked for.
yeah,
And it's like he was a genius, like
yeah.
straight
Oh,
up and down.
completely.
And nothing that he did while he was alive was happenstance, and neither are the things that are happening since he's passed. And I know a lot of people have a lot to say,
Yeah,
about the merch or whatever, but these are all things that him and his wife had discussed long before he left. So for the people that are upset and
great.
thinking that he's being exploited, you are completely incorrect.
Ah,
And yeah, because the things that are being sanctioned by his estate,
yeah.
these are things that had been in
He
the
thought
works.
about. Yeah,
These are things that had been in the works while he was still living. A lot of them were. So it's,
amazing.
I guess you just have to accept that. But everybody, again, they know better than the people who actually knew him. So,
Yeah, yeah.
like
I
I
know.
said, those fans,
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
gotta love them, because they really think that they know more
Uh,
than the people who actually knew him.
no,
So,
I hear that.
and
Well,
you just gotta hey,
yeah, I love that you're yeah, spreading and sharing his legacy through your music and when you perform. Yeah, that's a great point, keeping him alive that way
yeah.
too. So amazing. But with that, I wanted to turn the floor over to you for one final time to close us out. Thank you again. So I appreciate your time, but please close us out. Any final words before we end this amazing session?
This is just really fun. I really enjoyed myself. I mean, for
Thank
those of you
you.
that are, on social media and you want to keep up with me, I don't spend as much time as I used to just because of the sensory overload, and that's Instagram, TikTok, the images, it's too much, like the images and the sound, and it's just I love Twitter though. So you
Okay.
can always find me there actively, but StaHHr on everything from YouTube on down. I have my complete catalog on Bandcamp, and then a lot of my music is also on all the digital service providers, the DSPs. At some point, I would like to divest and go into self-hosting. But until then, I am in all of those places, and I just am, grateful to be here. And I do want to say this because I see a lot of mean of we're just people are really mean, and I don't know if they're mean in real life or they're just being mean online, but it takes zero to just be kind.
There you go.
Most of the people that you're interacting with, you probably will never see again. If you can be kind for like 30 seconds to a minute, it's going to make the other person feel better as well as make you feel better. And just remember to breathe.
I hear you.
Just breathe. It's going to be okay. And just don't take it too seriously because none of us are getting out of here alive.
Yeah. Hey, good point.
So just enjoy it while you can.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to get this session out. So
Oh
enjoy your
yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited about it too. This was
yeah,
really cool. This was
enjoy
really
that
good.
weekend and I will keep in touch. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Peace.